We're on to presentations. New business, Arts Fest 2025, Centennial Murals.
Okay, so hello everyone. Elise Raffa, Community Development Coordinator. So we're gearing up for Arts Fest 2025, and we thought this year it would be a great idea to celebrate our 100 years of being Martin County. So in conversation with Martin Arts, we came up with the idea of doing a mural, live painting throughout the festival, and it would be maybe 6 to 10 artists, and their topic would be looking 100 years into the future of what Martin County would be. And the idea, you know, they can go and take with it. So we would do a call to artists and then select those 6 to 10 artists to come, and they would be, from what I saw from Jen's, so I did originally send you a type-up, but then between the type-up and now, Jennifer Hearn with Martin Arts created this beautiful web page that's not quite live yet, but it has all the information on it. And so we can see that there's planning to do a stipend, a People's Choice Award, and then Naomi and I were thinking about doing little passports when people come to the tent, that they can go to each of the murals and get a stamp or a cutout to encourage people to go visit and check them all out, and they can get a little takeaway at the end. So we were really excited about it, and then the other idea is once we had these after Arts Fest is maybe during the ground ribbon cutting of El Camino, we could have them along the pathway as like a temporary exhibit, which would be really exciting.
So were these going to be individual pieces or on?
Yes, so I apologize. So we were looking at a 4x6 to 4x8 wood, and they'd be freestanding, and then they would be throughout Memorial Park working on them.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And I do have Nancy here if you had any questions or.
You and Jeff figured this out, so. We're out.
Oh, and it was going to be just Martin County artists only. So you had to prove that you were a resident of Martin County to participate in this specifically.
Did you thought about the kids in high school?
Yep, so we had it as student, I believe we had it as high school student and up that could apply.
Because they have an idea how they like to see Martin County.
Yeah.
Not like us old people. They don't want-
So do you need something from us as a, are you just looking for comments?
Yeah, comments, and if you want to go ahead and make a motion to approve the idea.
I like the idea. I don't know about you guys.
Make a motion to approve.
Second?
Second.
Second?
Any conversations?
No, it's a great idea.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Great.
Okay. Okay, that was easy. And then the next we had, oop. Naomi, did you have it listed out, the meeting dates?
Actually, scroll at the bottom. I don't think I popped it.
Oh, okay, hold on, sorry.
I think it's page
9.
9.
Okay, hold on. Okay. So looking to 2025 again, we have
May comment again, obviously.
Same May issue.
May.
Yeah, it's-
Oh, okay, yep, okay. So we'll make note of that.
Also November
At November,
24.
Yeah, it's the same Monday as today.
is it?
It's
Okay,
it's Thanksgiving week.
okay.
Anybody have any comments on that?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Do we have a second?
With the course looking into May 26th, second?
Yeah, we're changing the, yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? All right, next one. Fiscal year 2025, capital operating and maintenance budgets.
Good afternoon, Susan Corres, Office of Community Development. I am going to bring you your fiscal year 2025 budget. We're finally on the right schedule. We get our funding from the county October 1st, so November would be the first time that we can bring that to you and show you what we're looking to do for the next, or the fiscal year we're in right now. So we're going to start with our capital. And as you recall, or I'll refresh your memory, our capital projects budget utilizes 75% of our revenue. Our annual revenue is $50,000, and that 70% is $30,500. And we use that for any capital construction, purchase of art, creation of art, installation of art, engineering, signage, all of those types of things, and public art programming that we might do, which would include our mural program, our sponsorships like Arts Fest, any competitions or events. So that's what that piece covers. We will do our maintenance next, and our maintenance and operating budget both include 30% of that revenue, which is $5,000, and you'll see that in our next Excel spreadsheet. So looking at our capital, we have all of our projects. You will notice perhaps that I've added a total budget line at the top. We did not have that before, and I was always trying to figure out, well, how much money are we going into the year with? And then I thought, well, boy, that would be easy to correct 5 years later. So I did. So you can see our total budget going into each year, which would be the injection of the $30,500 plus any carry forward that we had from the year before. You will see our annual sponsorships, which is our murals, $10,000 for our murals and $10,000 for Arts Fest. The mural money, as you know, you don't see coming out of the years before because we didn't utilize the money, but it's programmed in there so that it's there if we're going to use it. You will notice that Martin Murals is $2,500 for fiscal year 2025, and that is because last year, if you recall, we allocated $7,500 to the Hobe Sound Library project. So that project consists of the 2 book benches and the mural, and that thankfully construction is getting done. So Elise will be sending out the call for artists for that mural in the new year. The book benches, I think we are going to go with a local company, although we haven't settled all of that paperwork-wise.
No.
But we are interested in doing that. So we just need, I think, final approval from the library. Is that what we're looking for? And then we will go with them. And they are a That's the word I couldn't think of. 3D printing company right here in Martin County. Justin DeAngelis is the president, and he was here to hear some of what's happening. So they did a really nice proposal for us, and it was a lot of fun to be able to do something local like that instead of companies we were looking at, which were all over the country and international even. I think Elise found one. So that's a great thing. So I have added our new projects that we've been talking about, and you can see the Hobe Sound Library does have their allotment, or the estimate of what we had allotted for them, as does the Mooring Field Facility Mosaic, and then the 2 other projects that we don't yet have any estimates or follow through at this point, the utility box wrap throughout the county and our nature signage at Palm City Place. So those are the other things that Elise will be working on. The last thing I'd like to mention in capital is our Rio Roundabout, and that will not include any rebar.
We have enough already, we're good.
Although I know Mike is going to miss it. But we are still looking forward to the 2 roundabouts and placing art in both of them, and putting that lovely rebar in Mike's front yard. So that's what we're going to use the $10,500 for, is to reallocate that, relocate, I should say. But no, we're keeping that because although the Rio CRA and the developer are paying for that art, we would like to be involved in that. I think it needs to be run through our shop, because then Elise can send out the call and we can monitor how that all works with the selection process, et cetera, et cetera. It needs to happen that way for us to be able to actually do the whole project. So that's why that is still there. We have the real numbers from 2024. Thank you, Naomi. And that's, I think, a good snapshot of where we are. We are in very good shape. Yeah, for capital. If there's no questions on that, I'm going to move to the maintenance. No questions? Okay. Elise, could you forward me?
Sure. Where would that be?
It's just the next, just,
I'm only seeing one page, but let's
the
see if
back.
I can.
So go to page 14.
Okay. Done.
oop,
You
oop.
missed it.
There we go. Okay.
There we go. Thank you. So this is our maintenance projection, and as you know, the way we do this is we look at what things are going to cost, and we program them in. Sometimes it does work that way, and sometimes it doesn't, depending. We send out art experts, or we go ourselves and with art experts to look at our inventory and see what needs to be done. Sometimes nothing needs to be done, so we push it off to the next year. So that's why you'll see in 2025, we look very maintenance heavy. It is time for our bronzes to be looked at again. There's 3 of them. We are looking to get some of the rust off of the sculptures in Gazebo Park again, and we're looking at sending someone to look at our mosaics, the Serenity and the Mosaic Lily Pond. My guess is that those things, or at least one of them, probably will not need any maintenance, but we shall see. The other thing that we will be looking at in 2025 is the Cummings Library. What's that one called? Magnify. And we're definitely going to take a good look at that because this would be the last year that the artist maintains it. So if there's anything to be done, then perhaps we can get that done, and then we'll take over maintenance of that piece. So that's where we are. Again, this is, really depends on what the inventory shows us when we go out and do that. And we'll do that for those specific pieces.
Thanks, Susan. Any comments? You know,
And then our last piece. Can you go to the next? Yeah. Our last piece is our little baby operating budget, 14,500. And that covers additional staff, which is Naomi and myself, the pieces that we do. The rest of it is Elise, not this, but the rest of our budget for this position. We also have a membership with the Florida Association for Public Art Professionals. We have our MCTV contract that we need to keep up, and then just some administration, which could be some contracts, working on the manual, doing the ordinance, bringing those things through legal, et cetera. So that's it. That equals our 50, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
anyone?
Need a motion to approve?
I do.
I'll make that motion.
We- All right, great. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
You're all
All
tired
good.
now, aren't you? Is that- Thank you, appreciate it.
You're welcome. Our next item is the program manual draft, program manual draft.
Yes. So, with as we have it, it needed an update. Currently, we have it, I think it's 2023 we have on our website. So it was overdue for an update. It has a bunch of pages, so hopefully you got a chance to review it. I'm not, I wasn't,
Is this all a totally new draft, like
yes.
graphics, everything?
Yes, yes. So we can go through each of the pages if you really want, or,
I do have
sure, sure.
Anybody else has comments? So if you just scroll down, the table of contents caught my eye right away. For some reason, when I looked at it, I looked at the table of contents, and as you read across, I started reading down, and I thought, that's some confusion right there. Do you have any preference, or do you feel like you could just go down, so the pages go 2, 8, 12, 17?
Oh, yeah, we could do that.
Ju-
Center
like,
type thing?
yeah, almost like, yeah, it would just be one line and you just scroll, go right, maybe stretch the text out, or just caught my eye when I first started looking at it as,
Okay.
wait, where am I going? And then I got confused, and I'm a terrible reader anyway, so it was like, it was really bad. That was one thing. And then page 40. It was a section that said architect, landscaper, engineer. And when I saw landscaper, it perked my ears up and it made me think, are you looking for a contractor or are you looking for a landscape architect? If you're looking for a contractor, you're fine, but if you're looking for a landscape architect, I would put landscape architect, not landscaper.
It's easy for me to make
See
notes
what you're
here.
saying.
It was on like a form, page 40, it was on like a form or something.
It's
Huh?
your page 23, but our.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
It's good. We're 40 on the, what did you say,
Go to
Naomi?
23, page
23.
Perfect, thank you.
Yeah, there you
There
go.
you go.
So right there, community architect, landscaper, engineer.
For the selection committee?
The subcommittee contact sheet.
So it would be essentially a designer you're looking for.
So landscape architect.
Okay.
That's what I would put. That's what I would put.
Otherwise, you're going to get somebody looking to trim your trees.
Right. That was my only comments.
Okay.
Good eye.
Anybody else? We can keep looking for a couple minutes.
Yeah, for sure.
It is a lot of information.
I mean, I kind of did so much of it. I changed.
Well, you changed the format. and
The
way it
format.
looks, But I mean, in terms of.
Let's see. Well, I did add a new form for if people wanted to donate public art to us. I had noticed some other programs within the state, they do that, so we would need to, this was the initial form that I had, and then we would work with legal on those terms of how we would have something loaned or not. So that was something new that never existed before. And what else? That's all the same. What else? Proposal form. I mean, a lot of it was just updated from the original, I guess, adding that if people wanted to donate something on loan. And
The text was basically the same.
yeah, it wasn't too crazy other than layout and making it look more colorful and pretty. Was there anything else that you all caught?
Anybody notice anything? You want to keep looking? Do we move on?
It seems pretty comprehensive for sure.
You need approval from us, a motion for approval?
Yes.
Anybody want to move approval?
I move approval.
I'll second.
Any comments?
I would just say,
A couple of little graphic things?
Yep.
that's
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? All right.
And I think,
On to old business, program project updates.
okay, so Susan spoke about it briefly, been speaking with the library, and they were approved with growth management on this current plan. I can try to zoom in here. And they're hoping to have the pavilion start construction in the early new year. And so we're kind of just waiting to release our call when we have a better idea of when we can actually start making a mural out there and not be in the way of heavy construction. But the benches should be right here and here, and then the mural will be here. So that was the latest with the library. And then, as you know, the Upland facility in Port Salerno is under construction, and we hope to have that out January 1st, or as soon as we come back in the office from the holiday. So that'll be exciting to get that mosaic mural project going and out for folks.
Great.
Cool.
Anything else?
Yeah.
Any bench questions?
I think you answered that the last time for me. I was concerned about if you sat on it, the temperature, but you said it will not burn anyone. So, is that correct? Sure.
Hi, everybody. Justin D'Angelo, founder of Printera, and I wanted to be here to be available to answer questions if anybody had anything about the bench. So, yes, it's concrete 3D printed, so the construction is concrete. It will remain relatively cool. If you find any stuccoed surface or a concrete surface outside and touch it, it's not going to heat up too much, and the color should also, stop it from absorbing too much heat. But also, largely, the seating portion of the bench is going to be the faux wood, right, like the plastic wood. So, really, the only concrete printed structures is what looks like the pages that come along the front, and then the supports that carry along the spine.
Okay.
What's the color of the seat? Is it the same kind of gray?
TBD, right? So the committee will make a selection of which wood they would like, but there's a whole gamut, right? A lot of the inspiration that we saw online that we used to actually model it out was more of like a darker tone than this, right? But there's a lot of different options. So.
Yeah, I think Jamie's comment about the heat is a good one. Of course, lighter color, lighter temperature.
Yep.
That would be my only suggestion.
Because we have a project out in Port Salerno for our parks, and they're supposed to be, looking at the benches out there too. So it's good for us to have in the back of our mind.
For sure.
So, thank you.
You can do any shape and size. That's the fun of 3D printing. So,
Perfect.
any other questions?
Thanks.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that come to life.
Yeah. Do we have a schedule on that? Any kind of dates?
So I guess it's just dependent on how the construction goes at the library. So now
They're
that everything's approved and
They're in the midst of the library work right now, right?
yes.
They've done some of the interior. I know. So they have done some of the interior, and the benches would be the first to happen. The mural's going to be the last because, of course, we want all of that, the machinery gone and all the other stuff that construction entails to be gone before we do the mural. So that would be the very last thing I think that happens there.
You mean we're not putting the cart before the horse on this one?
No.
Very good. Thank you. Anything else?
Well, that's all for me.
All right. Let's move on to departmental section. Nothing? Comments? Public comments? Public? Member comments? Oh. All right, great.
Nancy Turrell, Executive Director of Martin Arts. Just wanted to put on the radar screen that we are working on a letter of interest with the Impact 100 group. If you're familiar with that, they have women in the community who give $1,000 a year. They are hoping to have 500 of those donors this year and be able to give out $500,000 grants of impact in the community. And they are really hounding the arts community to have an arts project as one of the 5 that they do. I know the Barn Theater has applied, and I'm putting together a project based on some research we've done on the Bloomberg Philanthropies. They have an international asphalt art project where they fund cities of over 25,000 people. They do these grants to improve plazas, crosswalks, just to really improve pedestrian safety, but through creating beautiful, colorful patterns on the streets that slow people down and make them pay attention to what's going on. So, having met with their visioning committee of the 4 ideas that I pitched, they seem to like this one the best. So, yeah, I think there will be opportunities for partnership, and I will, in my letter of interest, name the Art in Public Places program and the Office of Community Development as a potential partner for some projects that are going on in Rio and the Camino Trail, where we could potentially enhance or expand what's already being planned in those areas. But it will make hopefully a big impact, which is what Impact 100 is looking for. So stay tuned for that. If we get invited, the pitch to the membership will be in April of next year. And if they vote us in, the projects could start as early as July of next year.
Exciting.
That sounds great. Thank you.
Just ask Nancy some. Nancy, you mentioned that sometimes you guys do artwork around areas where maybe you need to calm the traffic down a little bit. We have one area that's been in Port Salerno that we've been discussing for years. It's right near a middle school, and the cars just sort of shoot around this corner. So I was glad to hear that. Maybe,
Yeah, so part of the timeline that I'll develop is this is, talking to the community about areas where we need it. I mean, I think one of the priorities will be near facilities that are arts and cultural venues so that people slow down and realize that there's arts and culture in our community. But I think the other key area are
it's
kids
near
in
the park
neighborhoods
and then
where
up in the school.
those issues already exist, where something can be
that'd be
done.
great. Okay,
Terrific, thanks, Jamie.
thank you.
Anybody else have any other thoughts? All right. I think we're on staff comments. Any other staff comments?
Not at this time, no.
I think we're done then, right? Move adjourn.